Utilizing a spring dynamometer in lab experiments. A spring dynamometer is an indispensable tool in physics laboratories, primarily used for measuring force, weight or tension. Its operation is based on Hooke's law, which states that the extension of a spring is directly proportional to the force applied to it, within its elastic limit. This guide provides comprehensive information on how to effectively utilize a spring dynamometer in various lab experiments, ensuring accuracy and safety. A typical spring dynamometer, or spring scale. 1. Understanding the spring dynamometer. 1.1 Components. Spring, the core component, usually a helical spring, which extends or compresses under force. Indicator/pointer, moves along a scale to show the magnitude of the applied force. Scale, graduated markings, typically in newtons, N, or grams force, GF/kilograms force, KGF, indicating the measured force. Hook/pen, a hook at the bottom where objects are attached or Understanding the signs of a malfunctioning spring dynamometer. A spring dynamometer is a precision instrument, and its accuracy is paramount for reliable experimental results. Over time, or due to misuse, a dynamometer can malfunction, leading to incorrect force readings. Recognizing these signs early is crucial for maintaining the integrity of your lab work and preventing further damage to the equipment. This guide details common indicators of a malfunctioning spring dynamometer. A typical spring dynamometer. Regular inspection is key. 1. Inaccurate zero reading. This is one of the most common and easily identifiable signs of malfunction. Cannot be zeroed. When no force is applied, the pointer does not rest at the zero mark, even after attempting to adjust it with the zero adjustment screw. Fluctuating zero. The pointer does not consistently return to zero after a load is removed, or it drifts slightly even when undisturbed. Excessive zero offset. If the pointer is significantly off zero and the adjustment screw cannot bring it back, it indicates either a bent spring, a misaligned mechanism, or a severely fatigued spring. Tip: always check the zero reading before starting any experiment. If a dynamometer consistently fails to zero correctly, it should be flagged for inspection or replacement. 2. Inconsistent or nonlinear readings. A healthy spring dynamometer should produce readings that are directly proportional to the applied force, Hooke's law, within its specified range. Malfunctions often manifest as deviations from this linearity. Nonlinear response. When testing with known, incremental weights, the increase in reading is not proportional to the increase in weight. For example, adding 1 N might cause 1 unit of extension, but adding a second 1 N might only cause 0.8 units of further extension. Sticky pointer. The pointer moves erratically, sticks at certain points, or does not move smoothly along the scale as force is applied or released. This often indicates friction within the casing or a bent pointer. Lag/hysteresis. The reading for a given force is different when the force is increasing versus when it is decreasing. For instance, applying 5 N might read 5 N, but removing force from 10 N down to 5 N might read 4.8 N or 5.2 N. This points to internal friction or spring fatigue. Erratic readings. The reading fluctuates significantly even when a constant force is applied, suggesting internal instability or a loose component. 3. Visible physical damage. External signs of damage are clear indicators that a dynamometer may be compromised. Bent or deformed spring. The internal spring is visibly distorted, stretched beyond its elastic limit, or has uneven coils. This is a critical sign of permanent damage. Bent hook or attachment point. The hook at the bottom or the ring at the top is bent, cracked, or loose. This can affect how the force is transmitted to the spring and compromise safety. Cracked or broken casing. Damage to the outer casing can expose the internal mechanism to dust and damage, or allow components to shift, leading to friction and inaccurate readings. Loose or missing parts. Any rattling sounds or visible loose screws, pins, or other components inside the casing are signs of internal structural failure. Scratched or faded scale. While not directly affecting the spring, a damaged scale makes accurate reading difficult and can lead to human error. 4. Exceeding elastic limit, overstretching. This is a common cause of malfunction, often occurring when a dynamometer is used to measure a force greater than its maximum capacity. Permanent extension. Even after the load is removed, the spring does not return to its original length, or the pointer does not return to zero, or its original zero offset. This indicates the spring has been stretched beyond its elastic limit and has undergone plastic deformation. Reduced stiffness. The dynamometer feels softer or more easily extended than it should, suggesting the spring constant has decreased. This will lead to overreading of forces. Warning: a dynamometer that has been overstretched is permanently damaged and will give inaccurate readings. It should be removed from service immediately. 5. Calibration drift. Even without obvious physical damage, a dynamometer's calibration can drift over time or with repeated use. Inaccurate readings with known weights. If you attach a known standard weight, example a 100 g mass, which exerts approximately 0.98 N of force, and the dynamometer consistently reads a value significantly different from the expected force, after zeroing correctly, it indicates a calibration issue. Inconsistency across range. The dynamometer might be accurate at low forces but inaccurate at high forces, or vice versa. This suggests nonlinear spring behavior or internal friction. 6. Operational issues. Excessive friction. The pointer or internal mechanism might be rubbing against the casing, causing resistance to movement and leading to inaccurate or jerky readings. Temperature sensitivity. While all dynamometers have some temperature dependence, an unusually high sensitivity to ambient temperature changes, where readings fluctuate significantly with minor temperature shifts, might indicate a problem with the spring material or its mounting. What to do if a dynamometer is malfunctioning? Stop using it. Immediately cease using the suspected faulty dynamometer. Label and isolate. Clearly label the dynamometer as faulty or do not use and set it aside to prevent others from using it. Report. Inform your lab instructor or supervisor about the suspected malfunction. Do not attempt complex repairs. Unless you are a trained technician, do not attempt to disassemble or repair the dynamometer yourself, as this can worsen the problem or void warranties. By being vigilant and regularly checking your spring dynamometers for these signs, you can ensure the accuracy and reliability of your experimental data and extend the lifespan of your lab equipment. Common alcohol burning appliances based on an alcohol burner. The humble alcohol burner, often seen in school laboratories, is a simple yet effective device for generating a clean, soot-free flame. Its principle of operation, a wick drawing liquid alcohol fuel up to be vaporized and ignited, forms the basis for a surprisingly diverse range of appliances used in various settings, from scientific labs and outdoor adventures to culinary arts and home decor. This page explores several common alcohol burning devices that utilize or adapt the fundamental design of an alcohol burner. A typical laboratory alcohol lamp, the foundational alcohol burner. 1. The basic alcohol burner, spirit lamp/lab lamp. This is the fundamental device upon which many others are based. It typically consists of fuel reservoir, a glass or metal container holding liquid alcohol, ethanol, methanol, or denatured alcohol. Wick, usually made of cotton, extending from the fuel into the flame. Wick holder, a metal or ceramic piece that holds the wick in place and prevents excessive evaporation. Cap, used to extinguish the flame and prevent fuel evaporation when not in use. Primary use, low temperature heating in laboratories, example heating test tube.